Grace and peace, everybody. So last night we did a video titled, it was a stream titled, Murder Was the Case that they gave me. So I'm running some errands today, and I'm just headed to Home Depot. And I started to think about how the enemy deceives us into giving him access to our lives by making us agree with something that God, whether it's overtly, whether it's written in the scripture, whether it's a behavior that was once scorned upon but have become all the rage and now everybody's doing it. I want you to see the slow creep of society into darkness, and the way it happens is through influence. And so if we can get the influencers to influence people to do what they're doing, to open the door to demonic activity that we wouldn't normally have, then we have access to their lives. We have access to bring to them the destruction that we desire for them to have, because we hate humanity, because Jesus went to the cross and died for them and not for us. And that's the basics or the crux of why demons do what they do, to establish their kingdom in us, around us, establish their kingdom in our lives, to bring destruction, to separate us from God, to bring pain and suffering and heartache. And in many instances, we open the door to this behavior so that they can have access and bring destruction in our lives. This happens every day. Right, so last night's topic was murder was the case that they gave me. And I heard the song in my head while I was walking. And I'm saying to myself, I don't even like Snoop Dogg. But of course, I've heard the song and I know what the song is. But I didn't understand what God was doing at the time until I came back, fed Stormy, sat on the couch. And then someone sent me a video. I looked at it and I'm like, this is it. In the video, the gentleman was saying he does deliverances, and people don't understand that you cannot, it is impossible for you to be a Christian that believes in death, that believes in the destruction of human life. So in your mind, you're a Christian, but in the minds of the demons that are afflicting, they have a case against you because of your agreement, because of things that you've done, and they need your agreement to destroy your life. And so we have to understand that any agreement, any affiliation that we get into, is going to cost us or it's going to bless us. In many instances, it's not blessing us, it's costing us. What is it costing you? It's costing you your freedom. It's costing you health issues. It's costing, because we don't understand that the implicity of sexual things, how it affects the body later on in life. Any woman that has fibroids, it is not genetic, like how they would have you to believe. It is because of an emission, whether it be a human being or a demon or a sex dream emitted in you, and that emitted that caused the sickness. That's where this stuff comes from. So most times the emission comes in a place where you're in an intimate relationship outside the confines of marriage. And so that's where this stuff comes from. All gynecological issues, this is where it comes from. It comes from fornication. It comes from sex outside the confines of a godly marriage. And we have men and women that are suffering right now from all kind of sexual dysfunction, pain, suffering. Women are losing, men are losing body parts. Men are impotent, they can't produce, and it's because of the sex that they had, and the enemy. See, we can even talk about your seed being stolen, what they do with your seed when they take it. We can even talk about when your semen is collected in a condom, what happens to it. These devices, these prophylactics were created by the Marine Kingdom to harvest your bodily fluids for their destruction. For they implicitly to create destructive practices against humanity. And we keep falling for it. If you are a Bible-believing Christian, you should not be using any contraception at all. Yes, the Catholics had it right. Yes, it is murder. Yes. if you are having an issue with anything that I'm saying today, simply ask God if what Dr. Wayne is saying is off the rails and it's crazy and it's over the top. And I guarantee you, if you have a listening ear to hear what the Spirit of God is saying, He's going to bring revelation so that you know that what I'm saying is not nuts, it's not crazy, but He wants His people to be free. And the only way we're going to get freedom is to understand that there are things that we're going to have to stop doing, things we're going to have to repent, affiliations that we're going to have to forego, relationships and everything else, because you cannot be in agreement with murder and think you're going to live. You cannot be in agreement with these practices and think that life is your portion. There's something in your life that is dead because you've agreed with death. It's a simple thing. You agree with death, death will be served to you on a silver platter. And don't let these politicians deceive you to believe that what they're offering you is freedom. No, they're offering you death. And you need to pay attention that the people that espouse these things, you got to understand that they have an agenda, that they need your agreement, because you got to get the people to experience the death themselves so that you can come by and say, I'm here to save you. Don't fall for it for a minute. These things bring death in your life, in your community, in your body. It brings death. And so that is my rant for today. Got some sessions to do today. I'll be working on that later. But that's it. That's all I got to say. I'm going to pin the stream from last night because we prayed about every single topic and we named all of the prophylactic and life-ending practices that men and women do in the sake of family planning, for lack of a better word. I don't know what family you're planning when you're killing, but they have to find these nice ways to dress it up to get us to agree with it. So I'm going to pin the video. Don't forget that tonight, Andrea Solis and Chelsea Austin will be discussing the message in a bottle, which is a message to Kanye or Ye, whatever he calls themselves now. It's going to talk about what music does and all of the different things. It's going to be quite interesting. So see you tonight at 11. Blessings.